Welcome to the BigCeaz Show. We are back. It's been a while. Uh, we have such an awesome two guests, two of my favorite people here. Not only do they love sports, but their passion for music is one of a kind. We have our very own Florida Panthers DJ Genesis, and one of our very own DJ Huguito, who is a Latin DJ, EDM producer. He also has a rare disease called Osteogenesis Imperfecta. We want to come on and welcome both of these guys to the BigCeaz Show. Welcome on. How's it going,
Hey,
guys?
Hey, how are you?
what's going on, C's? We here, man. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to be on the show.
Thank you
Yes.
guys for coming on. And, we definitely know your guys' passion for music. But let's talk a little bit about your passion for sports. DJ Huguito, what is your favorite sport?
Well, I have two favorite sports: the NFL and soccer, for sure.
Awesome. And what about you, DJ Genesis?
I recently picked up pickleball, so I don't know. That's moving up the list very, very
Oh
fast.
wow,
Oh, I-
wow.
But
is Alexander Barkov recruiting you to his team?
shh, you can't. Some things you can't keep on the low. He's trying to win, so maybe not me right now. There's some other
Well,
people that he might need, but I'm definitely doing my best. Actually, I started at the Epic Club out there in Sawgrass, right across from Amer Bank Arena. It was a good time. I picked up the sport with those guys, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm actually sore right now because of that, but I
oh,
digress. But actually, my favorite sports, basketball, of course, is is up there. Obviously, with the Miami Heat, me being from New York,
yep.
being born in New York,
Okay.
it's a basketball court literally every two blocks. So you kind of had to do that, and of course, football, I believe, would be my second. And the second can fluctuate depending on what's hot. My interest, obviously, hockey wasn't there, but the Panthers have obviously, you know, turned some tables and made their stride up.
And they're the story of South Florida right
And
now,
they're,
right?
and they're the story. They're hot, and this is what we are all passionate about right now. So I'm kind of happy to see South Florida kind of change a bit to how much energy we're giving the
Finally, right?
Panthers right now. Finally,
Right.
right?
Finally,
I
finally.
still want more. Don't get me wrong. I'm still
Oh, yeah.
advocating for a whole
Once
lot
you
more.
once you get the first one right, it's like you're itching for more, right? You just want more.
You
More
have
celebration.
all, see, you have all the party pictures. You were
Hey,
at two parades.
you
Me
were
and
there
you,
with me.
me and you tore down 11. How are you talking about? Of course, you just want another one. Yo, that feeling is intoxicating, man. We thought that he was on stage at
Yes,
11, like he was one of the workers, if you know what I
I
mean.
saw that.
Well, I couldn't stop staring at the women. Not only the women,
I
but
can't blame you
like,
there.
no, but seriously, it was such a fun atmosphere. Shouts out to Matthew Kachuk and the boys for
They
even
always take care
allowing
of you.
me
That's what's up.
to even celebrate with you guys, and it was crazy because once I got on stage, you were like going crazy, Genesis. You were like, "It's Big C's! Holy shit! What's going on?" Talk a little bit about that moment when you
Mm.
realized I was on center stage at Club 11.
Well, obviously everyone is familiar with Big C's. He walks with the army for the reasons why he
Technically,
needs
I
to.
roll. Technically, I
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. He
I had
rolls
to
with an
throw that in.
army. That's a good one. That's a good one. He rolls with an army. You know what I mean? He got his people that he needs. So all of that takes a lot of logistical. I figured in my head, as I'm at the DJ booth, that takes a lot of logistical um, working. That's what we do in production. You're like, how did he? But you know what? Then I stopped and I'm like, that's Big C's. It's gonna happen. Don't worry about how it's gonna happen. They're gonna figure out a way to get him on the stage. So that's why I was so surprised to be like, they got you on the stage, in full gear, good to go. Pouring champagne and everything. C's was living his best life. I was so happy for him because I know how passionate he is for the team, and to be able to be embraced by them in that moment. C's is something that we would never forget.
Never. And it's such a beautiful memory. Not only to share it with the players, but to share it with you too. You've been such a big inspiration to a lot of people in the arena. They love your music. They love
Oh
your
man.
passion for the game. And let's kind of get into a little bit about for everyone tuning in who might not know your story, who is DJ Genesis and describe yourself a little bit.
Ooh, okay, man. So I've been DJing uh for about 20 years. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna celebrate my 20th year next year when the
Wow.
20th is over.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Everything with the I'm not gonna lie to you, everything over the last 4 years came so fast that I kind of lost track of the number, you know. I remembered 15. After 15, I got the situation with the Panthers and it kind of ran by. And I'm like, oh man, I'm about to sit on 20. So if you allow me, I guess on your show to rewind and kind of take you through the
Take it take
journey,
us take us
take
back,
us
man.
through this, you know.
Yeah.
Started a friend of mine at the time uh, saw a passion of mine. I had a graduation party. Me and a couple of friends, we wanted to DJ. We realized at that time, graduating from college at like 19, $350 was a lot of money. You know, it
Oh,
was a lot of money. You know, at
back then, right?
back then, you know.
What years?
So,
90s, 80s?
now we're talking
What age?
2005. Baby. So no, no, for
2005.
me, for graduating college, we're talking about 2002. So,
Okay.
you know, so once that happened, we were like, yo, we have a we I knew a bunch of people with mixtapes and I had the computer program to kind of chop those mixtapes up to
Okay.
kind of like a vibe that I wanted the party to be, you know? So it might have been a little choppy, but I would take someone's mix for like 25 minutes, put it there, then transition it with something and put someone else's mix on for like another 20 minutes to try to transition the party that way. And funny enough, it kind of worked. You know, it kind of worked. I had a microphone, so I was able to talk over the mixes. You
Nice.
know, and I had friends, of course, come through and do some things. So we had a lot of fun that night. And I guess a friend of mine was like, "Oh, you want to take this to the next level?" you know, trying to sort
Wow.
of. I was like, "Let me give it a shot." So one thing about me, once I learned how to mix, Huguito, you'll understand this too, man. Once you learn how to mix, it's kind of like getting out of first gear.
Exactly.
You know, yeah. So now it's about creation. Now it's about selection. Now it's about reading the crowd and those things. So once I started doing that and I started in the reggae Caribbean market,
Okay.
once I started honing my skills, which I'm very grateful for because that market doesn't play. If you can't play, you're not going to get on. No one's going to give you a chance to mess up that party. You know, you got to kind of
Exactly.
Yeah.
have, yeah. Now, you know, them Jamaicans that have a bottle for you ready, ready for you, man. They don't play
Have,
around, man.
have you had any bottles thrown at you yet?
Unfortunately, no.
Good.
Um,
Let's keep it that
I
way.
will,
Yes.
I will. You know, it's funny. I will, if you give me time, I will tell you one a bad. So I think I have two out of 20 years. I would believe I have probably two reports that may not be that might give me a pink slip. But I'll take that. I'll take two out of hundreds, you know, hundreds of events that I did. So yeah, so I started there and in the Caribbean market, and swiftly I realized that this is something I wanted to do for real. And the Caribbean market, no offense, you know, from a financial standpoint, don't support as much as you need to know to live off of this. So after that, I went into the corporate market, obviously for weddings, you know, to doing events with BET, Bacardi, you know, the Miami Pro League, some with the Miami Heat, just to name a few. Sprinkled in with like, you know, one-offs here and there. You travel out of the world, try to travel out of the world. I wish that'll be a good gig. You know?
Right.
um, Travel out of the country, you know, around the world to do this. And then so it was good even leading up before the Panthers. You know, I was catching my stride in terms of like business and
Good.
events and staying busy and so on and so forth, maintaining your house and the family. And then sadly, funny enough, March of 2022, my father passed,
Oh man.
so yeah, so life happens.
Yeah.
And funny enough, August of 2022, the Panthers called. You
Okay.
know,
Oh wow.
So
yeah, so
you just started with the Panthers 2022 then.
yes, yeah. So this I'm entering my fourth year. rocking with them. So I only know Stanley Cup Finals, so that's one thing I have on my resume.
So
You know.
so we could honestly say the Florida Panthers have only been winning since DJ Genesis has been on board.
Uh, yeah, I think so. I think that's an honest statement, man. I'm not even.
That means we can't let you out that building.
Yeah, let me go. Some other people that know Paul Maurice, same run. Matthew Kachuk, same run. Some other people that I work with, we've been on this. All of us being our fourth year, we kind of hold that with the rest of the guys that's been there to be like, so yeah, we kind of brought this championship energy here, kind of joking around with them a little bit. So that's a bit fun to be a part of. But yes, you're not the first person to have said that, Caesar.
That's awesome, DJ Genesis. This episode is sponsored by iTix Now. iTix Now is the very first verified marketplace built by Florida Panther fans for Florida Panther fans. Make it easy and safe to buy and sell your tickets with zero fees, zero scams. If Big C's does it, you know it's safe. Make sure you visit itixnow.com to sign up today. That's itixnow.com to sign up today. And also use our QR code to go onto the website. Let's hope to see you there at the next Panther game. Let's go, Cats! Woo! Um, Same question to you, DJ Huguito. For
Yes.
everyone who might not know who DJ Huguito is, tell us your story and describe yourself a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, as you mentioned earlier, I have osteogenesis. I was actually born in Los Angeles and moved to Miami 2008.
Hmm.
But this itch to become a DJ, it started here in Miami. I would suffer a lot of fractures. That's one of the downsides, I guess, to having osteogenesis, fragile bones. So I would be bedridden a lot of the times. And music was like a distraction for me. And I remember seeing Ultra Music Festival one time on YouTube. And I always said, I want to do that one day.
Hmm.
And that's when I started, learning, watching videos on YouTube, the basic skills to becoming a DJ, the transitions, everything. And one day I went to Bongo's Sky Lounge. It was a club at the Hard Rock before the guitar. And I met DJ Africa, a pretty famous
Big
Latin
DJ,
DJ. Yeah,
big DJ.
yes.
So you
And
know who DJ Africa is, right, Genesis?
Definitely yes.
Okay, cool.
so I met him and I told him, I want to be a DJ like him one day. And he told me, to practice and when I felt ready to call him and we would set something up so I could DJ with him one night at Bongos. And that's what happened. And after that, I stayed as a resident DJ with them every Friday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's how my DJ career started. And this was in 2015. So
So
10
hold on.
years.
So hold on. Your first gig was at Bongos.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
wow.
Yeah.
See how people see how level see how there's levels to this seas. My first gig was in a warehouse in South Miami. And no, like with jerk chicken cooked up in the background.
I
And,
remember people telling me that I was a little crazy doing my first gig in a big nightclub like that.
right, yeah. Bongos,
Yeah.
like I mean, like if someone called me to do bongos, I was up 24 hours trying to get my set together. Like bongos,
And
I gotta make sure.
surprisingly enough, I was not that nervous.
Hey man,
No,
sometimes you belong, and
I just
that's an
felt
amazing
like this was
story.
it. This was like my calling. This is what I want to do.
And I remember that day.
And Caesar
You
was
know,
there.
it was. I remember vividly. We used to always hang out with DJ Africa,
Yeah.
and he was a big inspiration to Huguito,
Hmm.
and gave him a lot of advice and told him to never give up. And if this is your dream, could pursue it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. And he literally took it and ran with it. He got his own little mixed board, and he just started DJing and practicing. And next thing you know, an opportunity came where Africa wasn't going to be there, and he's like, "You want to
Oh
take
yeah.
over for
Hmm.
me?"
Hmm.
So little did he's like, "Okay, sure, why not?" And gave him the opportunity, and then ever since then, He's been
What
killing it.
what I
He's been
would
killing
say
it.
to what I would say that in the DJ fraternity, as big as it is with all the
Yeah.
genres that we have and all the different venues and so on, we are very inviting. I I don't know who you thought if you've been around a situation where someone either wanted to learn, seriously learn, not unless they just jokey
Right,
thing that
right.
some people want to do, seriously want to learn and take on the craft, that another veteran DJ was like, no. I
No,
can't remember
I
really,
can
even
relate to
in
that.
my experience, whether starting and or being the veteran DJ, I can't remember a time even having to waver whether or not I wanted to help another person want to become or learn or
Right.
execute. Once I've obviously they had the skill set and they had the passion for it. I think we're one of the very one of the more welcoming groups,
Exactly.
and for everyone now there's a wave of female DJs. I don't see male
Yes.
DJs
Oh yeah.
dating,
Yeah, a lot of
Yep.
female
so like,
DJs are upcoming.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I think DJ fraternity maybe is not spoken about a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of coverage about
I
us
have
behind the
ran
scenes.
into though sometimes. It's a couple of DJs that they're a little bit more on the jealous side, but that's like everything in life.
True that. I mean, I think that is true, but I think for the most part, I think we're a very welcoming,
Yes.
inclusive community that wants to see good DJs out there, because I think there really is a need for good DJs, not
Yeah.
selectors, not playlists, human playlists, DJs. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I kind of want to take a look into this picture here, Huguito.
mm,
Yes.
That's you DJing there at
Mm-hmm.
a club
Tribeca.
down here in Tribeca, right? Which
Eh,
is no longer there, from what I believe.
No.
But talk a little bit about your setup, because people are probably wondering, how is he DJing? He's in a wheelchair.
right.
Right. So basically, I use Serato and I have a small mixer Pioneer and just, I've always said that it's not so much about the equipment, but more, the person behind it. You
Mm.
can do scratching everything in a small mixer as well as, the big ones like the DDJs. It's all up to the DJ at the end and how to read the crowd, picking out the good songs, what the people want. At the end, that's what's important.
I have a question for you. Dope setup, because I was wondering. I'm sorry, Steve,
Go
if I
ahead.
can.
Go ahead.
Go
By
ahead.
all means.
Yes.
I'm sorry, as a DJ, this
No,
kicked
I
in
love
because
it.
I
I
was
love
wondering,
it. See, this
with
is
this,
why I wanted to bring you both along. Both are different DJs and different cultures and different setups. So this is a great opportunity for other people to show your different skill sets, right?
Right.
right. So what? Back to I don't know, Steve. Can you pull that picture up again? Is that
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah.
So when you have the setup, you have your obviously your laptop on your left hand, you have the controller
Yep.
on the right. When you're DJ, you turn to the left. Obviously, you type in the particular songs, or
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
have
I pick it out quickly and then just do everything by ear.
Okay, so I select. Okay, so like I select on the laptop, control, command left, command right, so on to
Right.
select the music. You do the same thing, or do you use any other like shortcuts to?
I drag the song quickly to the deck.
Okay,
Yeah, corresponding deck. And
I'm
after that,
asking because
yeah.
there's so many different ways to
Oh,
do
yeah.
like the same thing. So many ways to skin a cat on the Serato, depending on how you want to, logistically use the board. So I was
Exactly.
wondering if you did anything differently than
No,
because I've been doing the same thing with the board since I've used it. I haven't switched up. I don't use like the button to log and select the tracks. I don't do that. Some
no.
people do. So I
Yeah.
I
was
do that.
wondering if
A lot of DJs do that though, don't they?
yeah, a lot of DJs like will roll through because you can actually select the track with that button as well
Exactly.
with the scroller. I'm so old school. I come from records and CDs that I just look at the crate, select the record, and I like he says either drag or use the control.
Exactly.
Control. I'm sorry, C's. We just nerded out, little DJ
No,
nerd
I
out
love
That's
that.
okay.
I
I
second.
love
love it
that.
too.
I love it.
Yes.
It's awesome because I'm sure there's going to be other people that that might be inspired to DJ themselves, and for them to learn something new is definitely awesome. So yeah, by all means, that was great.
Oh man, so you do special remixes as well. Like I would figure as a producer, what are some of your inspirations in terms of producing? Because people
I
have
love that
asked
question.
me, People have asked me if I want to produce, and I don't really want to,
Right.
but I'm wondering if it is something that you recommend. Be like, if you're DJing, you might as well.
It
And
does help to stand out with so many DJs.
oh
You
yeah,
got like either your own remixes or your own tracks, your own productions. It helps, especially for someone like me, because so much competition out there,
hmm
and it has helped me a lot. And I
what
love
programs
EDM
do you?
music in general, so I've always told Caesar, I think I'm a producer first, DJ second.
Mm,
Yeah.
which programs do you use to produce? If I may ask.
Logic.
Logic.
Yep.
All right, see, I'm done asking questions. My bad. Back to the Big C show.
No, that
Give you
was
back the mic.
awesome.
You know.
That that was great. No, I really that was awesome. That was like really original, and it just goes to show like how diverse the industry is, right? And with Huguito, not only does he love DJing, but he loves producing music. So let's kind of go back a little bit with both of you guys and take a look back at your young Genesis. What was your
Ooh,
household like? What was music always playing growing up?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. So it's like I got two different versions of growing up because I grew up Seventh Day Adventist church household. So music was very contemporary in terms of gospel music.
Okay.
Contemporary gospel. Uh, the radio station in South Florida for all those that used to is WMCU. It was a classic Christian station that was ran mostly throughout the house, and I also went to a church school, private school. But when I went to New York or I was with my aunts or whatnot, that's when you would hear all the Caribbean music, the Beres Hammonds and and Sanchez, and then you hear soca as well. So in the Bronx, my aunt would clean, and you would hear her speaker across the street because they were just blasting that particular type of energy. And obviously, soul music is very big. My aunt Sharon is actually one of my bigger inspirations when it comes to music. She made sure I had those classics, when I started. I
Cool.
think one of the biggest things is if you're a young DJ, is to get the music that was, before you, and an understanding of how to play that music, what that music meant, because we weren't there. We didn't party in that era. So to speak to those that went, and my aunt would tell me about the parties at Studio 54 and other parts of New York, and what the vibe and what the DJ would play, and how new technology to change how quickly you select the track, how to mix in a track, so on and so forth. So the household growing up definitely molded a lot of my of how I play and what I play for. I didn't really grow up on a lot of too much, dirty or aggressive music. So I tend to kind of have that formulate in my art form where, I'm playing more family friendly, more, artsy type of vibe other than just, not that I can't, but, that's,
Right.
that's
And
why.
I'm sure it allows you to be more diverse as well, right?
Arts, there you go. That's the number one word. Being be able to diverse and play for every crowd. I just did the City of Miami Lakes Gala, probably 85% Latin. They
Oh,
did they
wow.
did this they couldn't get them off the dance floor. So it doesn't matter to me. I know how to play for the people. The music will come. That's my
That's awesome. So, Huguito, take me
Yes.
back to young Huguito. What was your household like, and was music always playing in the background growing up?
Oh yeah, growing up in a Latin family,
Oh
there's
yes.
always parties, always gatherings. You know how Latin music has different genres
hmm
inside. There's salsa, merengue, reggaeton, very diverse. So I grew up with all that. And me, I went through different stages. I listened to hip hop at one point, West Coast especially. Like Tupac, Dr. Dre. Then I went through like a phase where I would listen to like Linkin Park and stuff like that. Yeah, different
Emo
stages.
side.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then reggaeton was probably my favorite genre. Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, the old school guys,
hmm
and yeah, I mean, always parties though at my house,
Oh,
always.
if you want to go to a Latin party, go to
Exactly.
Huguito's house. They
Yes.
know how to party.
I would definitely say DJing in his Latin. I mean, in Miami, I mean, you could call it a Latin market, but they party, man, and they have a good time with it. It's not just dancing; it's the food, it's the
The food.
atmosphere.
Yes.
It's abuelita telling, "Come here," is the
Exactly.
cafecito, is the
Oh yes.
conversations, man. So one thing South Florida does know how to do is come together and have a good time. That's one thing we do know how to do.
Yeah.
Who was your first album, DJ Genesis, or what was the first album that you had that made you fall in love with music?
Okay, well, that's a
I
good
know I
one,
put you on the
man.
spot there.
He said the first album that made me fall in love with music, man.
Or the first album you ever got.
The first album I ever had that I listened to back to front, that I learned that The Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 2, Jay-Z,
Oh,
um,
nice.
on tape, or The Hard Knock Life and so on like that.
Oh,
Came out
classic.
in came out in '98, and that's when you had
Now,
the
did you
Sony
get the
Walk
cassette or did
the
you get
cassette.
the
I was
CD?
no the cassette. I had a Walkman.
Okay.
I
So
had a
people probably like, what the heck is he
what the
talking
heck is
about?
a Sony Walkman exactly? See, I had the fresh Walkman too. They had the radio on the front with the buttons,
Woo.
and when you press fast forward, it stopped at the next song. Like I had like that. I
Oh,
had
so you were legit. You
I
you
drove
had
it
the
up.
you had the legit
Solid one,
Walkman.
yo.
Okay,
Solid
okay.
one, yo. Those kids are like, what the heck is he talking about? Yeah.
They will never understand.
Never, but
Those
I
were the
bled.
good old days. I'm not gonna lie.
Never lie. Like Jay-Z, like Biggie said, I bled that tape, man. Back and forth, knew every song, knew every word, and I think that's how I really became a Jay-Z fan. Definitely after the album, he's obviously my favorite rapper, my favorite artist, and I'm kind of proud because there's some people that you would have been fans of like in the early 2000s that right now you're like, man, I don't know if I should have been following. Jay-Z, at least from a public standpoint, has proven me right in terms of what he's doing now as a grown man, with the NFL and halftime shows and so on, and what he's doing with his foundations. At least he's not in any scandals. And I'm like, well, him and Obama, that's all we got.
Yep,
Yep. Pretty
yep.
much.
Keep up the good work, guys.
There we go.
But yeah, see, that was the first album that got me kind of hooked to see what was more about this genre.
That's awesome.
98.
That's awesome. And Ugito, same question to you. Which album or artist made you fall in love with music?
I remember the very first album I got was Daddy Yankee's first album, Barrio Fino. And that's the album that had his song La Gasolina. And
Okay.
after that, I was hooked with reggaeton, the whole vibe. And that's when I started listening to reggaeton. Then I heard Don Omar, Tego Calderon, all these artists. But Daddy Yankee is probably the reason why I fell in love with reggaeton and the rest of the Latin music.
He just performed today in Madrid for the halftime
He
for the
did.
Dolphins game.
I
That was
saw that,
amazing.
yeah.
Nice. Now, have you ever met Daddy Yankee?
I did with the first year that the Marlins opened up their new stadium. He did one of the first concerts for the Marlins, and I was there, front and center. And
See,
I
I
got
got
to meet him backstage before his show.
nice.
That
All right,
was,
what a pictures on Instagram? I know you got them on there.
yeah, I have a
Oh,
picture
Caesar.
somewhere on my Instagram.
Oh, Caesar find it.
I'll find it. But
What?
what about you, Genesis? Did you ever get the opportunity to meet Jay Z?
I have. I I I DJ'd in a room Jay-Z was in because I was DJing. That's why I didn't meet him. Solange, actually, Beyonce's sister,
Okay.
had her album release party at a club in Manhattan, a private club called the Butter Club, and they expected Jay-Z and Beyonce to come, and they did. They came for like 30 to 45 minutes, but I was DJing, so I and
Oh
and
man.
this was before like iPhones, and we had Blackberries and stuff like, so it wasn't like you could just snap in and there was like a bunch of media going on. So
Right.
unfortunately, he is definitely one of the legends that I have not met yet. In due time.
Oh, okay.
Who? Daddy Yankee or Bad Bunny? He
Daddy
would say
Yankee.
it.
Daddy Yankee.
He answered that
I love
quickly.
Bad Bunny, but I'm sticking with Daddy Yankee.
He, he answered that fast.
Yes, he did. I'm kind of, I'm well, since that's his like biggest idol, I guess I could see that. So, what do you guys think of Bad Bunny though doing the halftime show for the Super Bowl this year?
I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
let go ahead. You have more experience in terms of the genre and stuff.
I think it's great, for diversity. I might get crucified for saying that, but I think it's great. You know, give a show for the people. Want to spread the NFL market to more people. I think that's the way you do it.
Uh,
Bad Bunny's probably one of the biggest artists in the world right now. So
Hi, he is. I have small beefs with Bad Bunny. In terms of like how he came into the market and where he is now, because I just have a bit of issue of like people that pander to a certain market and then obviously kind of like switch up and just like go the other way. I understand why they do it. I
right,
just make sure kind of people don't forget as a
Yeah,
true,
DJ and so on and so forth.
exactly.
Same thing with like Post Malone or same type of energy. I do love, which does not take away from his artistry and his fandom and what he does. Trust me, I love Bad Bunny. Once I play it, the ladies get crazy and
They do.
they go nuts. So
They
he
turned up
gives
right
me,
right away.
don't get me wrong. So I'm pleased more, like more Titi Me Pregunta, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yep.
but I just saw how huge how big he got so fast. And so I almost look at Daddy Yankee and him kind of like the LeBron and Jordan of that genre.
That's a good That's a good one. Good
As
comparison.
Daddy Yankee's like the new guy. He's been here like the last 10 years or so.
Right.
And obviously, I'm not. I'm talking about Bad Bunny's been in the last 10 years, and Daddy Yankee's the OG. You
Exactly.
know, but to me, I don't know. I guess we kind of have to see where Bad Bunny kind of ends up because
It's definitely been controversial.
yeah, Super Bowl is huge. So
So I was looking for the picture of you and Daddy Yankee, but
Not there.
it's somewhere around. You got so many pictures,
too many.
Yeah,
but
I know.
people go check out his Instagram at DJ Huguito. You'll be able to find him. I'll put it on the description below. But let's kind of move on here. Who do you have as your mentor, DJ Genesis, who helped you get to where you're at?
So a couple people, of course. First starting off down there in the warehouse, Pablo Pablo and Mikey from Hardcore Movements, the reggae sound. They taught me how to play music, in terms of in a party, like how to read a crowd, how to have selection, and how to frame it and build a party that you can kind of like tell a story.
Exactly.
From a corporate standpoint and where I want to be, DJ Irie, I wouldn't. None of us would be here without DJ Irie. No sports, no professional sports DJ ever. He is the godfather of this craft, and we are always thankful to DJ Irie for the first time he went out and being the Miami Heat DJ. To
Hmm.
seeing the plethora and the amount of DJs that play for sports teams, not just basketball, around the nation and the
And you're
world is
starting to see it everywhere in every single sport now.
Yeah.
that is inspiring. That's talking about leaving a legacy. As much as we don't call ourselves the DJ Irie professional DJs or whatever the case would be, for all of us to kind of know and for those to know where it started there. And I would always show him love because he deserves it. He doesn't talk about it enough. I personally don't think he talks about it enough in terms of that part of his story. But I would say those two are probably my biggest inspirations. Of course, there's many that you see in the streets and a lot of my counterparts that I've DJ with that are my inspiration. But I would say on paper, those would be the two that I would say.
And you, Huguito, who inspired you, or who's helped you mentor you besides DJ Africa?
I think besides Africa, I would say Layback Luke, as you met him before season. You know,
Yes, very awesome
awesome
guy.
DJ. Yep, very humble. He's I've seen videos of him too, talking about how to open for the main DJ. Like don't think about playing all the hits, and you know you gotta warm up the crowd. So I learned that from him. I've also learned from Alex Sensation. Gotta be diverse with the Latin crowd. So it's a lot of DJs, but those three are the main ones.
And for those of you who don't know who Layback Luke is, he's more into the EDM, electronic music world, who does production as well, and has been a big inspiration to Huguito and has helped him throughout his time DJing and producing music. So, shouts out to Layback Luke. We
Yes.
love you, man, and he's such a great person. We're very humble as well.
I play a lot of his tracks in those mixes, those warm-up mixes.
Yep.
Laybacks in there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, next one, what what were your first gigs like, DJ Genesis?
Ah,
Any particular crazy story, one that comes out that you would like to tell us?
yes.
I can think of one.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell y'all the story, man. I was supposed to DJ a wedding, man. I had just because I was DJing and working at the same time, right? And I was like, I don't need to be working anymore. I'm done, So I quit my job at Baptist.
Next time you do a wedding, me and Huguito can wedding crashers.
Oh yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
please come through. Y'all gotta roll up.
Gotta
Roll up.
be
Y'all
rolling
gotta
in there.
roll up now. Literally roll up.
Yes.
Put some 20s on them. Put some 20. Oh man, but you guys are definitely come. You guys be the life of the party. But so I'm DJing this wedding for a company now. So it's not just on my own. They didn't come to me. I got it through a company. It's at some fancy hotel in West Palm Beach. I had gotten to an argument with my girl that day.
Oh.
Right, like right before I was supposed to leave the wedding. Like I'm getting ready, and we're going through it to the point where I forgot my laptop at home.
Oh no.
And I live in Southwest Miami, and I had to drive to West Palm Beach. So by the time I realized I
That's a
didn't have
good
my
hour, 2 hours and a half, right?
problem, by the time I realized I didn't have my laptop, I'm almost already there. I called my best friend to go retrieve my laptop. So I'll figure it out by time hopefully he gets there by like cocktail hour or something like that, right? Boom, I set up. I always say if you're a good person, God doesn't leave you out to dry. He would always have something, he'd always have a safety net for you. So the speaker that I had a USB in it, right? That could control music, right?
Right.
And I can play it from the USB. I was able to transfer the files. I had to take the USB, run in, find a laptop in the office. I didn't care. At some point, you just don't care. Just knocking on someone's random
I could
office
just see
door,
you
like,
like hot wiring that shit, just like, hey, what's the password? Let me get through this.
yeah, what's your password to Windows? Plugging in a random USB in a company's, like all kind of
Oh
security
no.
protocols. Like, oh man, it's terrible. But she let me do it. I was able to download the songs for at least the wedding ceremony, right?
Right.
Boom, I get there. I'm able to play it through the USB. Now I have the hour cocktail, to kind of like, which I was so surprised about that ceremony. First of all, I was like, ooh, I got through it. Now we got an hour cocktail. I don't have to do anything. I'm setting up the speakers inside the room, and my laptop still is in traffic. It's not coming. I call someone else that's a part of the company. He's supposed to be 20 minutes down the way because the traffic was like 45. He does get there mid cocktail hour. So I have a laptop. It's a PC. I'm not too happy, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers right now.
It
Exactly.
works.
I got to do what I got to do. I set it up with my Serato. I see it works. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Get the songs ready for the wedding party to walk into, whatever. And I'm like, all right, it's working. I was actually playing music for the party for the wedding patrons to come in and sit down and so on and so forth. So I'm like, all right, this is working. This should work until my laptop comes. All right, here we go. I set up the songs for them to walk in, and I go and I meet the wedding party in the back of the room. So now I feel comfortable. I'm like, at least I can get through this. I hype them up and I'm turning them up, like, yo, I want you guys to come in with a lot of energy. We're going to go crazy for the bride and groom. I get back to the laptop. It says updating for 15 minutes.
No.
No.
No way.
Bro. And
No
not one of those
way.
you could just shut it off and turn it back on.
No.
I got back and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I just told these people that I'm ready. In hindsight, I should have waited at 15, but let's see why I did it. I tried to plug in like my phone through like a jack,
Right.
and like find the songs. Like there weren't Spotify and all this stuff wasn't really big at that moment, so you couldn't find a streaming. So YouTube was. So I tried to like play the songs on the YouTube,
YouTube.
skip over like the like talk over when
The
the
ad came
the
The
on.
ad would
ads.
go,
Hmm.
hit skip and it was brutal. It was
Oh
brutal. It was brutal. It
man.
was brutal. I got the songs out. Some songs didn't sound good. I was trying to MCing it. I was MCing it like it was like the biggest spectacle. Like, but I knew the thing was just going
Oh
left. Yeah.
man.
That's one thing that you do have. You have the great mic presence. So I'm sure your MC was spot on.
I was like, hey, you guys give it up for the father and the bride. Um, Bill Davison. It's Brad. Oh my goodness, bro.
Oh
It
no.
was
No.
that part of it was so tough. I do get through the bride and the groom. They come through to do their first dance. I think it's the only time I had like a side conversation with the bride and groom, like while the wedding was going on, apologizing for the debacle of of what happened, man. And it was the only time I can put my hand up and be like, something like that has even remotely happened to me. Or I don't even know what lesson God was trying to teach me that day. Oh, I knew what lesson he was teaching me. Don't work for no company, because after that, the company, DJ company, fired me. It was like I was like, forget this.
Oh no.
Oh, so you were working for a independent a
A,
DJ company, a
a DJ
corporate.
company, yes, a corporation that hired us because
Wow.
I had just quit my job, so I wasn't getting gigs just all gigs all the time, So I was getting these gigs that were funneled to me. So I would take them, and they were pretty decent. I was like, okay, I could use these for my resume for when I'm ready to, leave. I might have been like, that might have been like my fourth or fifth gig because I wasn't an experienced DJ. But that debacle, and I just looked at that and was like, so my DJ did finally come. My laptop did finally come, and it did kill the reception. Like the reception was amazing. The party part of it was dope, but that intro aspect to the reception,
Oh
oh
man.
my! I will never forget that ever. I tell the stories that never get too cocky. I will share one story on the Big Caesar show that only maybe five people know, but now the world is going to know. And it's about being in a space where you're you feel that you might be on top of the world, but you always still have to be a good person because you never know when it can shit. I'm sure you can curse on this show, right? So I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're good.
All
Okay.
right.
It's the Big C show.
Hey, I figured that, Yeah,
No
I don't know.
filters.
I know you're inspiration to the kids, so Anyway,
No.
C's first championship, right? On the beach, right? Remember the water and all the rain and all that stuff that
Oh,
happened.
what a crazy event.
Crazy
Crazy
event,
event.
but that actually, if you really in hindsight, made it so much better, right? In terms of like the amount of energy that happened once we turned back on
I
and
think I
so on,
had
right?
more fun last year at the parade than I did this year.
Yeah, right. I think from an energy standpoint, I think we had more people this year. Obviously everybody kind of knew the second one always does that. The first one I feel was like for the diehards, like
Yeah.
those that been waiting for this for so long.
And it
So
wasn't so
boom.
damn hot.
And it wasn't hot because of the rain,
Yep.
so we were able to enjoy the vibe. Hear this now. We're playing. I get a list. I kind of get a list of music that from my VPs or whatever, in terms of like some suggestions of like what we should play just so you're reminded. Celebration, all I do is win, generic kind of things like that. And of course, we are the champions. So I have that playlist or whatnot, and we're playing. And throughout the day, when the players started to come now, I'm having a good time. I'm DJ Huguito. I'm tearing this thing up.
Yep.
I would drop in here and there. We are the champions, to get the crowd's reaction. Then I probably played a goal song. So probably leading up to the guys doing the speeches or whatnot, I might have played We Are the Champions probably 2, 3 times already. So I have this record. Everything is good. How about fast forward, event's great. Mr. Viola comes over. He requests New York hip hop. He's like, yo, I want some Biggie. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Shout out to Mr. Viola.
Yep.
And then boom, the speeches go, and we're about to take the last picture, and I'm playing the goal song. da 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 da. And Mr. Viola comes over. Is like, all right, guys, let's play We Are the Champions and get out of here and one more hoopla. I go to select We Are the Champions, and it would not play.
Oh no.
Cease. It would. Me and my VP. I'm like Mike. Mike. It's not. He's like, what do you mean it's not playing? Not screaming at me, but kind of like, this is the moment. Like the owner's asking for the song.
It's
Mike is
like,
like, you have
oh
Mike.
shit.
Yo, we're going 8 right now. Still kind of calm, but like, what are we doing? I'm pressing this. We can't play the goal song anymore. Like it's just like, it's like you would think we score like 5 goals in a row the way I'm repeating this track. And finally, big shout out to my VP, Mike. He doesn't. People probably don't even know who he is. Mike Messino. He has a presence of mind to call the house sound because there's a house sound that does everything. And he goes, "You guys, cue up We Are the Champions and play it now. Play it now." And literally, like you could hear 5 seconds later, you can hear the intro. Yo, both of us looked at each other. He was like,
Oh, shouts out to Mike.
So big shout out to Mike. A lot of people don't know these behind the scenes stories, and I'm not one to think that everything is always glitz and glamour. I'm not one to try to share some of these situations behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. And I thought that's one of those moments in my career where it's like, imagine if we weren't cool. Imagine if maybe I was an a-hole or Mike was, or you know what I'm saying? And we a lot of times when it comes to teamwork is literally teamwork. Um, yeah, somebody might look like they scored the goal, but it's the assist that came from the top of the blue line, or somebody shielding somebody so that the puck goes in. And I thought that was a great metaphoric situation of like always stay humble, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, because you never know when that humble pill you're gonna have to swallow it.
Yep.
You know?
No, that is a very good point.
Yeah,
And that is awesome, man. That's crazy.
so
But
those are my 2 stories that I
that goes to show you that like any career, you always are bound to get into like or run into like a barrier that you
Mhm.
always try to find a way to get through that, right?
hmm
No matter what. And
hmm
that's something that Hugo and I do constantly. Like every throughout our life, we're always continuing to battle through barriers. So,
hmm
any particular moment with you, Huguito, that you remember DJing? Um, any
Um,
stories that you
yeah.
remember that stand out?
Well, I remember one night at Bongos, I'm opening for DJ Africa. Everything's going smooth. Africa gets there, and when he's about to set up, he realizes he left his laptop at home.
See?
And I was not
You're not the only one.
experienced. I was not that experienced yet. And he's like, I'm gonna run back to my house. He lives all the way by the Marlins Stadium. I was like, oh no.
hmm
He ran back. When he came back, about an hour and a half later, he's like, you got this. I was nervous. It's one of the stories that stands out because that was the first time I DJed the whole night by myself, basically. It's a story, it was a little nerve wracking, but I got through it, and that's when I realized, I could do this.
Perfect.
Sometimes you need those shock therapy moments to prove that we can do certain things.
Exactly.
No, that's awesome. And for those of you that don't know, like sometimes there's warm up DJs to set up for the main DJ. So
Exactly.
Ugito was a warm up DJ for Africa, and then DJ would just do the main music and stuff like that. So that's so it gave him an opportunity to be part of the main DJ that night.
Mm-hmm. And
Awesome.
after you rise to a new level, drop the hits, peak hours, and I realized I could do it. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and it was a packed night too, so it was a little nerve wracking, like I said, but I got
But
through it.
once you got to do it, you got to do it. There's no like, no, I'm packing my laptop up. I can't. I have to shut off at 12:30. Like you don't know
No,
like
no, no,
that's
no,
not
no,
that's not how we operate.
And
So.
no,
the
no, no,
thing is,
exactly.
like, I think, like, for us, there's never, when somebody asks us to do something, we never say no. we always welcome that challenge,
I
right?
love challenges. Yes, I love getting challenged.
How else do we grow? If you don't learn, you don't grow. That's life.
And that's
Exactly.
how life is, right?
When you learn,
Exactly.
you grow.
So let's kind of get into the Florida Panthers here, Genesis.
Ooh.
How did the opportunity come to being the first DJ for the or being the DJ for the Florida Panthers? I know
I would
you
know
said
you.
it
No,
started in 2022, but like talk about how that opportunity came.
you were right. You were right. The first time we said the first official DJ. They've had DJ spots and DJ guests, but an official DJ of the
Yeah,
team.
you're literally
I am.
the
I
Panthers
am. I am
DJ,
the first. Genesis the first. It makes sense.
and
Um,
hopefully the only.
and hopefully, I'm building a team. I'm gonna be. I'm not going anywhere. C's. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. So, so how the opportunity came about? Like I said, as you see, the last 3 years we've been winning, and I don't think that's by accident. There's a shift in
No, I
I
don't think
guess
so.
right. There was a shift in the culture from when Zito took over as the GM to what I was hearing when I came that, even the game presentation it had a little bit of a shakeup and so on and so forth. So I guess in that shakeup, I don't know if leadership had seen that there was an opportunity for a DJ. So a friend of mine, big shout out to my boy Tyrone. He used to work at the Miami Dolphins. I did an event with the Miami Dolphins. He was like the primary contact with the Dolphins. The event did very well on their grounds. He then moved during COVID to the Panthers. You know, I did the event with him, like let's say 2019. COVID hits during that period. He moves to the Panthers. I have no idea about this. He moves there and he hits me up. I think it was late 2021. And he was like, I think there's an opportunity for you possibly being a DJ for the Florida Panthers. And I was like, yo, that'd be dope. That'd be cool. I'm not gonna lie to you at the time, not that it wouldn't be an amazing gig, but I was like, all right, there's obviously the Dolphins, the Heat, and the Marlins, and that in terms of like PR get the most love. But I was like, you know what? It's a great opportunity for me. I think it's a level up from what I'm doing. And it'll be fun to be able to rock out in front of 18,000 people every single night. That'd be kind of cool. So he told me about it, but it kind of went on air for a while. I didn't hear from him for a good little minute. My dad passes, and I told you like March of 22. I don't care about anything after that. Like don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm sorry, man.
They contacted me in August of 22, and said they wanted to start the process. And I believe a little bit later on, that's when I got the call from Mike in terms of like, you want to do a video call. We did a couple of video calls. I did some mixes for them in terms of like suggestions that he asked. The team had sent me some songs for the players. The players had this, and he was like, put this together. Kind of told me about the 16-minute warm up segment and what to do. So I said that, and everything was good to go after that. I think he said that he was speaking like I was a part of the team already, so so that was good.
That's
Then
always a good thing.
that's always a good thing when you're like, so when you come in, so I was like, when you hear when you hear people
When
talking
I
like
come
that,
in, does that mean I'm in?
right? Like,
Right.
it's like you get confirmation on the side sentence, like, yeah. So when you come in, you're gonna meet us at the lounge, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm in this thing, right? So yeah, so that's how that literally that's how it went. It wasn't anything grandeur. It wasn't like come in, we want you to so and so. It was I did little audition. We had a couple group chats with Mike who thought I had a good vibe. I was already working with the Miami Pro League, so I already had like DJing and sports, kind of like a little bit of a background with that. And yeah, you want to also kind of change the culture, probably from some traditional, rock, classic hockey music, and I try to be inclusive to everybody that comes in. And please,
And
are we doing a good job?
dude, you're doing a fantastic job. You play a
All
little bit of
right.
everything. Just the way you and Gabby Allen, for those of you who don't know, she's the one who presents the game during the games, right? Um, you guys do such a phenomenal job of interacting with the crowd, getting the people involved, doing little game features in between the
Hmm.
intermission periods. And your selection of music is spot on, spot
Thank you
on.
so much,
Like
man.
honestly, my friend Cameron and I literally are like jamming every time during when they're cleaning up the ice or during the intermission. You do a phenomenal job. So definitely, you've done a great job. Everybody loves you. Um, you're one of a kind for sure.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. You always come through before the game to show love. But that's
Every
actually
time.
as much as I like give to you guys and the fans in terms of the music and the vibe and energy, you guys give that back to me when you guys come up and say what's up, or you guys come by the DJ booth to say hey and just to chop it up for a little bit before you go to your seats. That's so important because it's bigger. You guys live this. It's bigger than sports. It's bigger than DJing. This is life that we're living, man. And like you said, a lot of people go through so many roadblocks, whether it's, an addiction, whether it's, complication. You guys have the best stories to be able to tell that to, in terms of like, what you guys go through every single day. You guys are such inspiration. So that's why when I'm in that booth and I see you guys and I see all the fans, I know I'm doing my part to bring a little bit of joy, to probably, a little bit of relief that people are going through every day. So
Yeah,
life is not easy, and so I take that job very seriously. I take it more than a job; it's a purpose, that I have, and I take it seriously. And when you guys come around and make me feel like what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, it keeps me doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
there we go. There we go. We got to send you some of DJ Huguito's music. So it,
Maybe he'll like some.
For
Never
sure.
know.
No,
Yes.
you got the EDM vibe. Obviously, after the
Yep.
season, you gonna
It
make the
does.
connection. You know
we
how
know
this
the
goes,
Panthers
man.
are big EDM music lovers. So
Hmm.
definitely, we got to get that and make that happen. Huguito, is there a particular moment that you remember where like or biggest stage that you were on that you remember that you want to tell us?
Oh
Mm.
yes, I do have one. Last year, I got to perform at the Hard Rock Live. There was a
Mm.
concert for a salsa singer, Dominican, and I was invited by. She used to be the manager for Passion Nightclub, the Latin section, because Passion Nightclub was a pretty big club, and they
Mm.
got like three main dance floors. The main one, a hip hop room, and a Latin room. And I used to work the Latin room after bongos actually, and that's how I met her. And we stayed friends after they changed everything. They built a guitar hotel, and she called me. She's like, "Would you like to be the main DJ for the concert before the show?" And that was basically like a dream come true. I got to perform in front of 7,000 people right there, and
Nah, that's
to me,
amazing.
that's
That's
been
a dope
the
story.
the best experience ever.
That's awesome,
That's
Yeah.
and
sick.
that's really dope, especially because where you've come from, like watching YouTube to now you being somebody that's performing for thousands of people.
Yeah,
That must have been incredible.
it was.
That's
It
awesome.
was.
That's great. Um, so let's kind of move into. We got about 5 minutes here. Let's go into
Mm.
Big C's quick hitters. So I'm going to
Mm.
ask you both a couple of quick questions. All
All right,
right. So let's do this.
let's do it.
First question. First song you ever loved.
La
Tell me.
gasolina.
Wow,
Daddy Yankee.
man, that was quick.
More money, more problems. Biggie.
Okay.
Good choice. Good choice.
That's the first thing I
First
learned
DJ
back.
setup you ever touched.
First what? I'm sorry.
First DJ setup you've ever touched.
My mixer. The Pioneer 400 and a laptop. Basically my. That's been my setup this whole time.
Mine, there was the 1200s, Stanton 1200s turntable. The technique. I'm sorry, technique 1200s turntables.
Okay.
The S9 mixer.
Is it like the old turntables?
Yeah, that was the first set I did. Then we went to CDJs. The CDJ 800, I think, was the first one that I DJ'd on. I DJ'd on some of the first set of CDJ controllers.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Okay. Here's a good one. Most overplayed request you get asked.
Any Bad Bunny song. For me, it's any Bad Bunny song.
Is there a
Every.
particular one?
I'm sorry. Right
I
now,
don't.
Kiki me preguntó.
I don't. He's right about the Bad Bunny. I don't even think Bad Bunny fans know the name of his song. They just want him.
You know
Exactly.
Period.
what's funny about that?
Exactly.
Freddie Freeman's like, I let my kids pick up my walk up songs, and they're all Bad Bunny songs. And they,
They just like people. Don't they say play Bad Bunny? They don't say play Tite Me
Yeah.
Pregunta or play
Exactly.
Party
They
or
don't like.
play. They just say play Bad
Yeah.
Bunny like he's a song.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
um,
always Bad Bunny, not one
always
specific
Bad
song.
Bunny. In South Florida, the most requested track. Well, for the Panthers, because I know it was a cultural thing, is definitely Sweetness, but we don't play it anymore because we're
I
trying
don't
to pay
know.
the
So
Dolphins.
is
But
there I was going to ask you, is there now that you mentioned it, hold up. For all the Panther fans
uh
here,
oh, uh
all the
oh,
Panther fans, we
uh
want to
oh,
know,
uh
is there a reason why we
oh.
don't play Sweetness?
I was instructed to change course. That's all I can
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair? All right.
You're good. You're good. Awesome. You brought it up, Matt. You brought it up.
I did say it, but that is a song I do get requested for, and I'm like, ah.
For the
Uh,
OG Panther fans, we
I
used to
know.
love that
I
every
trust
time
me.
they.
I feel it. Without playing it, I feel it from those guys. So I knew it was gonna come up at some point. So I would just that's what I could say. See, so
At least we know now, so we're
basically,
good. We're good.
okay.
It's a new era. It's a
The
winning
new
era.
right, yeah, yeah.
We're good.
Mhm.
Okay. Favorite part of game day
Oh, that was more for
for
DJ
both of you.
Genesis.
Like if you're watching a game, Huguito,
Uh
what's your
huh.
favorite part?
Well, I like. Well, this is gonna be more on the soccer side, if that's okay.
That's
I
fine.
like.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing the lineup, how the team is gonna line up against each other. You know how soccer there's different formations. So I like the tactical side of soccer too. Because maybe one day I could even become an assistant coach at least. Soccer, runs in my family. My grandpa was a professional soccer player, and so was my uncle. So, soccer is probably my biggest sports passion. So I like analyzing the games.
Mm. Coach Julito, Coach
There we
You never
Julito.
know. You never know.
Yeah, man, that'd be dope. Favorite part of pregame outside of the Panthers, I would say tailgates of the Dolphins and the Hurricanes are pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie to you, those are pretty epic. If I'm going to a Dolphins or a Hurricanes game, those pre-games are pretty amazing. I am always intrigued of the flyover and the anthem and how
oh,
I see throughout
those are so awesome.
aren't it pretty cool? As I've gotten older and I've gotten to understand more of the sacrifice that these men and women make. Obviously, um, I think that's one of my favorite moments. It's not pregame, but when we do our moment to military at the Panthers,
Shouts out to
that's
the
always
Viola family for doing that. I
right.
think that's one
That's
of my favorite parts of the game.
of the
Is
game, you
every
know.
game they honor a veteran who
Right.
served in the military, and you
Heroes
know
among us.
the heroes among us, right? And
Yes.
it's something that is very special in my family. My brother,
Hmm.
my dad both served in the military, so um, shouts out to them. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for
We're
them.
out with them, and CEC's the range. There'll be a veteran that might be 35 years old, and then we're celebrating somebody from 101 years old from World War II veteran.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy. The spectrum is nuts, and you learn so much about these people as they come. And I have such a front row seat to them as they walk on the one line stage. So it's kind of cool to hear like a small little story about their life, and I tell you, it's inspiring. And pregame for the Panthers. Rocking with you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, the fans, man. I have the system locked in so much in terms of what I do pregame in terms of music, meeting the new fans, jarring with the opposing fans too as they're walking by, and me and the mascots are kind of like having a little bit of fun with them. I had some fun with the Caps fans the last game that we had. That was pretty cool. I made some prop bets with him in the
There
middle
we
of the
go.
game and won all of them. So that was fun. But we keep it interactive. It's not just Panther fans. We invite everybody in to have a good time in the house. And that's the kind of the culture that we're trying to set. And I think that's what we're doing.
Nice. Here's one childhood nickname.
Doguito. That's translation. Juice.
Okay.
Translation. Because it sounds like juice. So
Spanish.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
Spanish. Yeah, yeah. So they call me Big
Huguito,
Juice.
yeah,
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Juice, yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think I had a nickname. In school, everybody had like, we would make fun of everybody. I had a mole on my face, like a little small mole. That runs in my family as well. And the kids couldn't find anything else, so they said I had a booger on my face. So they,
Oh man.
I'm dead serious. If you come from a Yo Mama
Oh,
era,
trust me,
like
Huguito
you
and I have
had
been made fun of throughout our lives. Honestly, we just take it and roll with it.
I
We
love
you,
it.
you
I love it.
as long as you got a good snapback, that's what people
yes,
like. I come
yep.
from the era where you got to be able to reply to this thing, man. You can't just sit and be like, I'm getting bullied. Some day is your day. Some day is not your day. You just take it, you
Exactly.
learn, and you come back tomorrow swinging. I don't subscribe to the whole. I know people do get bullied or whatnot. I do think that we
Yeah,
live in a different era. I don't subscribe to bullying where someone's just picking on
no,
someone and beating them up.
definitely.
But we got to be able to take some jokes out here, man.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yes.
We got to be able to
Exactly.
take some jokes.
It,
Exactly.
it feels like we're a little bit too sensitive nowadays.
We are. It's nothing
We
like a
have
good
got sensitive.
ribbing
I don't like
in
it.
good fun.
Exactly.
In good fun, a good little ribbing. There's nothing wrong with it. It lets us know that we're alive.
Exactly.
Oh
That's why
man,
me and Paul in business, I
that
was
was
so happy.
amazing.
I was so happy to go at it with him because you know what? I'm not gonna let that fool come out here and make fun of our 26 and a half Panther fans.
You know what I mean? I
Right?
know, right? All six of us had something to
All
say.
6 of us. Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, here's one. Um, favorite city to perform in,
Ooh.
Ooh. Well,
or if you haven't performed in one, which one would be your favorite city to perform in?
I
Your
want to
dream
perform.
city to perform in.
I want to perform in Tomorrowland one day, which is in
That would
Belgium.
be that would be sweet.
That's my dream.
Tomorrowland, my favorite place to play. I want
Right?
to sound too. I'm saying my favorite place to play. I want to sound too. It was amazing. It was the VIP club in San Tropez with Kelly Rowland
Oh wow.
back in the day. It's a small stage and everybody's around and the stage circulates. So
Oh
as you're
cool.
That's
DJing,
sick.
so
That's
as you're
cool.
DJing, you're not just focused on one part of the club. You're kind
Yeah,
of
look
like
around.
rotating. You're rotating
Okay.
as you're playing. So you could be like over here, you're DJ in front of the VIP. By the time you look down, boom, you're over here with the rest of the crowd, and then you come over here, and then you rotate. Then you turn around and you can see like the people upstairs that were behind you
Oh.
before, you know. And then you can
That's
stop.
a pretty
Obviously,
setup.
you can stop the DJ booth if you want to, like for performers or whatever. But I thought that was so cool that it was dance floor was kind of circulating, as you're moving. And I was like, this is kind of
Oh,
cool, man.
that is
Like,
awesome. That
yeah,
is
you
awesome.
don't feel, and it did in a way where you don't, because obviously something you can feel sick with the movement because there's lights going on and all.
Right, right.
They did it in a good way that you felt comfortable and it wasn't moving too fast. But as a DJ, to me, it made me want to play more because I felt like I was literally moving the crowd. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And you don't have to
So
worry about like staying in one spot. You can literally pay attention to like more than one person or one
Mm-hmm.
crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
hmm
that's one thing that I've noticed that, sometimes when you're a DJ, you're stuck in one spot and you can't really move unless you're an MC, then you can kind of move around and stuff like that.
right.
So
Exactly.
that
So
must
that
have been
experience
incredible.
was that experience was really cool. It gave me a perspective that I've never seen and since never been a part of, honestly.
Awesome. Two more, two more. Favorite food before a show?
Ah,
Oh.
go,
I
Lito.
know Lito likes, he loves his
Lito.
food.
I mean, there's not one specific food. I just gotta have a good meal before a show. Let's put it that way. I gotta feel full, ready to go. And a coffee. I do like to have a coffee before my shows.
Weird enough, I don't concentrate on like a meal, but
Yep.
bef- before, like let's say I'm DJing a wedding or whatever the case would be. Oh, me and the wedding planner are locked in on when that meal is going to come out. Like, what do you guys have on the menu? Okay, there's steak, salmon, whatever. Yeah, run that. And I try to
Right.
make sure I get my meal before even the reception or anything starts because once the party starts, I have to play
No,
four people to eat, so I can't be eating while that's going on. So
exactly.
I try to. You know,
Yeah.
Huguito knows, bro. Like we're
No,
not
yeah.
trying to eat while they're eating. Got to get
Once it
into before.
starts, you're
Yep.
stuck. You
You're
got
stuck. There's no eating. The adrenaline is so fast.
no.
There's no stopping
Exactly.
to eat. In terms of what we do. So my favorite meal is whatever the caterer got for
As
the
long as
night.
it's free, right?
As long as it's free
Exactly.
and it's good, be good, man. I'm not
That's
picky.
awesome. That's great. I'm right there with you guys. Last question. If you had a superhero power, what superhero power would you get?
Ooh,
Go who?
oof.
You go ahead. You go see who first. You go first. You go first.
Teleportation. So I can teleport anywhere I want, I guess.
Teleportation. I had a a funny thing because I always think like that question is cool, but it's something that probably is a bit of a fantasy. I said, what if I asked the genie that I just made 55 to 60% of all my shots? Imagine where you would be as a
That is
player
That is
if
a good one.
if right? Like is
that's
I
like a
don't think
little
that's too
cheat
much.
code. That's like a cheat code, like in a
I'm not
video game,
asking for
right?
75. Right. Yeah. Like, what if I could make 55 to 60% of my shots? Oh my God. You'll be a superstar. I'm not saying that everything has to go right. I'm not saying that I won't get beat on defense every once in a while or something like that. But you know the ball's in my hands if the game is
Yeah,
close.
I love that answer. I
Right?
that is good.
absolutely love
Yeah,
it.
It's nothing to. I'm not
Incredible.
asking to be like the best player and I can dunk on everyone and I can fly high. What if I made 55 and then I get to decide where those shots come from? And then you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that would be kind of cool. I always thought about that,
That is so awesome. What a great way to end the show.
hmm
Man, it was such a pleasure to speak to you guys. You guys are both a true inspiration. And we definitely got to catch you guys. Hopefully, all three of us at a game. I'll bring Ogito one day.
Sure,
Get
yeah.
to meet
yes.
you.
I would love that.
And
Yes.
hopefully, maybe one day you guys can collaborate together on something. And, where can
I,
anybody find you guys?
Well, you guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, but mostly Instagram. I'm very active there. And of course, Spotify if you guys want to hear my releases, EDM music for all the house music fans. And yep, I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud.
oh man, yeah. We gonna find you everywhere. I'm gonna make sure I follow you guys.
If hearing DJ Genesis talk about game nights has you itching to go to Panther games, then iTix now has you covered. Verified fans, verified seats, none of these screenshots or random dudes selling you screenshot tickets. Huge shout out to iTix Now for supporting the show. If you want fast, safe, fan to fan tickets for Panther hockey, hit up itixnow.com. Real fans, real listings, real fast.
You can find me at Hammerbank Arena all season. Then that's where you can find me. Definitely rocking
Anytime you go to
there
a Panther
at the
game,
bank. You
look
you
for
know I
DJ
am.
DJ
I
Genesis.
I'm be there on the 109 stage. But other than that, you can find me on SoundCloud, Instagram, everywhere at the same handle. I am DJ Genesis. I'm sure Caesar's gonna put it
Right.
up.
Okay.
And I know I'm gonna see Caesar on the Wingman podcast. I know that for sure. I know that's gonna happen with the Kachuk brothers. I can't wait to see that episode.
I
I'm
can't.
putting it out there.
I'm just waiting for them to invite me. I know they will. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of time.
they just warming up. They just
Yeah,
warming
yeah.
up. So
No, for
good shout
sure.
out to the boys.
Matthew's my boy. I love him. Love what they're doing. Yeah, and like I said, love partying with you, Genesis. We had
Always.
an epic time. Back to back Stanley Cup champions. They can't call us losers anymore.
Nope.
Never.
And for DJ Huguito, DJ Genesis, and BigCeaz, like I always say, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. Let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
Appreciate